Our new professional LED flexible light strips are made in a UL certified factory to our custom requirements. They are fully sealed with a silicone layer to provide a water and dust proof surface. 3M VHB acrylic tape will form an extremely strong bond to clean, smooth surfaces. 18 gauge wire leads and a thick copper PCB provide better wattage transfer throughout the strip. They are available in 300 or 600 total LEDs on a 16.4 foot long strip with either warm or pure white color temperatures. This series runs on 24 volts DC to improve both the efficiency and lower the heat production versus lower voltage systems. These LEDs are very power efficient, with the 300 total LED strips requiring 4.8 watts per meter, which comes out to about 1 amp for the entire strip, and 600 total LED strips only require 9.6 watts per meter, or about 2 amps for the entire strip. We brought these in so that we would have a commercial grade offering of LED strips that would be built to last and produce extremely accurate color representations with a high CRI score of 90+. I'm going to go ahead and hook up a 600 LED version of our pure white LED strip here for you guys to check out. As you can see, the color is very consistent throughout the strip and has a higher density of LEDs, which generally results in a smoother looking light output. Next, I'm going to cover if you wanted to solder wires directly onto the LED strip. Scissors can be used to cut any of the cut marks on the LED strips. We do recommend that you cut them in the middle to allow both sides of the strip to be resoldered. So before we can solder, we have to remove the silicone coating. I'm just using a knife to just simply press down through the silicone coating. I am not slicing back and forth. And just use your thumbnail to peel it off the strip as best you can. There's going to be a lot of little fragments and pieces. Just kind of scrape those off and then use an abrasive pad or the backside of a sponge or something that can scrape the copper points clean so that you can get a good solid connection for your solder to stick to. Once you have it all cleaned up, we're going to go ahead and tin both the copper pads using a little bit of solder. We're also going to tin the wire that we're going to be soldering to those pads. I didn't show it in the video, but it is a good idea to tin both sides just to make this part go as smoothly as possible. Next, we're going to go ahead and attach the wires. Please note that there is polarity on these strips, so you have to make sure that your red wire connects to the positive and your black to the negative. So go ahead and just use your soldering iron to heat up the connections to get the solder to melt a little bit and get the wire to stick onto the pad. This typically goes pretty fast. You don't want to heat it up too much and cause damage to the strip or melt the insulation on your wire. Now that you have your wires attached, just take a small piece of heat shrink. We're just going to go ahead and slide that up over the wires and up until you get past the silicone. And take a heat gun and shrink that down to size. And this connection is complete. You can go ahead and connect this to a 24 volt power supply and light up your LED lights. Now, we understand that most people don't like to solder. So with these LED light strips, we brought in a specific connector that makes your life a whole lot easier. So these connectors do not require you to remove any of the silicone in order to use them. They have two small brass piercing tips inside that will pierce through the back side of the LED light strip and make contact to the pads. To use them, you just simply push your LED light strip all the way down into the connector, push down on the clamp on the top, making sure both the left and right side lock into place, and that's it. You are done. Super fast and easy. These are really great connectors that will save you a ton of time and don't require any special tools to use them. Here I'm just going to show if you want to connect two LED strips together directly without using wires. So you'll do the same preparation as you would if you were going to be soldering wires by removing the silicone from above the pads on both sides. So just like before, go ahead and get all the little bits of silicone off of each side. Once you get everything off, remember to use an abrasive pad of some sort to clean the copper contacts just to make sure that the solder will stick. Also, make sure you pay attention to the polarity, positive to positive, negative to negative, as seen here in the video. So once both sides have been cleaned, we're going to have to tin the copper pads on both strips. So just use a small amount of solder, go ahead and melt it on to the pads, making sure that you have a decent little bubble of it on each side. Now that we have that strip done, we'll go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. Now that we have both sides tinned, we just need to get the PCB strips lined up to each other so that the positive and negative are directly next to each other. Once you get them lined up, just try to heat the solder that you have on each side to make a small bridge that'll connect them. As you can see, it's barely any heat is required at this step, just enough to get that bridge to be formed, and then you'll have a connection across the strips and you'll have a solid continuous light strip at that point. Come and visit us at either of our stores. We are open to the public and open Monday through Friday.